Welcome to my podcast. Call Wrestling Pedigree. It's the Rotz Report. Wrestling Pedigree.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Rotz Report. I'm your co-host Matty, and along with me, I have Ohio showstopper Christopher Watts. How are you, sir?
I am doing good tonight. I want to welcome you all to Rotz Report. We have a lot to discuss here with the fallout from the Royal Rumble, Monday Night Raw, NXT, and many more wrestling that we're going to be discussing. And always say yeah to NoDQ.com. Follow Wrestling Pedigree everywhere on social media. And I am wearing my Friends outfit for tonight because Friends is my favorite TV show of all time. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed this episode of Rotz Report.
Absolutely. I love the cheap plugs. We give you a couple of hints on what's going to happen with this show tonight. If you're watching this on YouTube or live on Facebook, you'll notice what's on my head. And it's a hat with a particular JH on it. So it gives you a hint on what we're going to talk about today. But let's start with controversial. That's what I'm going to say. Controversial and maybe lackluster in other fans' eyes, but the Royal Rumble. What was your take on? Let's take on your first match. What was the first match? It was the Women's Royal Rumble, as usual. What was your take on the Women's Royal Rumble?
My take on the Women's Royal Rumble, I felt it was a good, solid match. The Iron Woman of the whole entire match was Charlotte Flair. She was the Iron Woman of it all. I did not expect her to start off the Women's Royal Rumble. I originally picked Becky Lynch to come out because she said in many interviews and all of it on Bleacher Report that she's the greatest women's wrestler of all time, and she puts herself on top of everybody else. I thought they were going to have Becky Lynch start the Women's Royal Rumble and have her go one by one to proving herself that she is the greatest female wrestler of all professional wrestling. But they went with Charlotte Flair, and number 2 was Alexa Bliss. I was shocked about that. And yeah, they didn't fight. They didn't go back and forth. They were teasing it, but they were just waiting to be teammates and try to decide what's going to be the next entrant and just keep going from there. And Charlotte accidentally eliminated Alexa Bliss from the Women's Royal Rumble. So I do expect that we will get that breakup with Charlotte and Alexa on the road to WrestleMania, and it will possibly culminate in a match at WrestleMania with those two. We saw some NXT talent. We saw Lola Vice, Sol Ruka. I'm going to tell you, Sol Ruka, she has a bright future ahead of her in WWE. And we saw the NXT Women's Champion, JC Jane. Happy for all those women that got the NXT Royal Rumble spots. I'm happy for Lash Legend. That was her second Women's Royal Rumble. She did a fabulous job. I think she got 5 eliminations, I believe.
Yeah.
And also, I'm happy on Jordan Grace's Royal Rumble, but it came down to the final 3 in the Women's Royal Rumble with Sol Ruka, Liv Morgan, and the returning Tiffany Stratton. Those three did a fabulous job, and also we had our women's Royal Rumble winner, and that was obviously going to be Liv Morgan. She has been well overdue for Liv Morgan to win a Royal Rumble. She's been in all 9 Royal Rumble matches, and she couldn't get the job done in all first 8s. And then the 9th time was the charm for Liv Morgan. And I'm happy that they give the Women's Royal Rumble win to Liv Morgan, and now she'll punch her ticket to WrestleMania for a championship match. Anytime she will choose which championship she'll go after, and I do expect we will be getting Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Valkyr for the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania. And also, I'm happy that we got to see Nikki Bella in the Women's Royal Rumble, and we got the returning Brie Bella. I'm happy that the Bella Twins are back together once again, and I do expect the Bella Twins to go after the tag team champions on the road to WrestleMania.
What was your take on at the Royal Rumble? Brie Bella coming back.
I'm happy. I was shocked that Brie Bella is back in WWE. They kept a good secret from everybody that, okay, Brie is coming back. Let's not link this out. And they did a good job and not linking anything out when it came to the Royal Rumble. It was perfect. Brie Bella, I'm happy she's back. And what I said, I feel those two are going to be going after the women's tag team championships on the road to WrestleMania.
Absolutely. I know the quality was probably people moan about, but I like the women's that I loved the beginning. I thought it was very clever of Flair and Bliss not to hit each other, play a bit of mind games, and then wait for number 3. I thought Kiana James was really good. She was one of my standouts. I particularly I like the storyline when I go through where Flair accidentally eliminated Bliss along with Nia Jax. Weirdly enough, Nia Jax eliminated no one. I feel Kalani Jordan, Soruka will probably come up after WrestleMania, and I feel JCJ won't be that far behind. Lola, I think they'll keep in NXT for a long while just because of her relationship with AAA. I feel she will be probably AAA Women's Champion by the time we get to March. But apart from that, I thought it was a good. There was here and there bits, obviously, but I thought it was a really good Royal Rumble for the women. It The only thing that probably let it down was the crowd. Very lackluster crowd. They were chanting "Oma Femi" in the freaking men's Royal Rumble, in the women's Royal Rumble. I mean, you should just cheer for who is in the Rumble at that time, not be disrespectful. The crowd got livened up when Rhea Ripley came in. Oscar elimination makes sense by Caddy. So I'm looking forward to what happens there. Especially, I don't know if you've seen it on YouTube or social media. The eliminations, they go in this little golf cart, and just the golf cart just drives like at least 1 minute. Oh, and Oscar kicked Caddy out of the golf cart and made her run after the golf cart. I thought that was brilliant. Um, Jordan Grace did pretty well, I thought, but yeah, for was it 9 times? Like been 9 women's Royal Rumble. She's been in every single one, along with Natty. I was so happy when Natty eliminated Becky. If anyone was watching the watch along, you could see that on our YouTube. you can see me loving Natty eliminated Becky, but it's just unbelievable, unbelievable. And for Liv to win, always a bridesmaid, never the bride. Well, now she's the bride, and I think it'd be her, Raquel Rodriguez, and Stephanie Falker triple threat at WrestleMania. I feel we could see the end of Judgment Day by then. Do you, is there? Do you think that will be the last Saudi WrestleMania? The last Saudi Royal Rumble?
I have a gut feeling it is because it was the first Rumble outside the United States, and they brought the Rumble to Saudi Arabia, and I just feel like it was a typical Saudi show. It was a typical Saudi show, and it started at 2:00 my time, and at Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, it started at 10:00 at night. That is
Yes.
like unbelievable. 10:00 at night. Who would want to stay up in Saudi Arabia at 10:00 at night to go and perform a wrestling event, and then knowing you're not going to get done until like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, then that Sunday, and it was like, oh my God, you made all these superstars stayed up that late.
No, it was 2 o'clock in the morning. They probably didn't get to the hotel probably until about 3. That's just crazy. And then they had to leave to go to Philly. Just sticking just quickly to the women. You said Lola. You said Soruka, JC Jane, and Kalani. I think 3 out of 4 will get called up within a couple of months. What's your take? Do you think that there's call-ups happening after Mania, or was that like a tester?
I have a gut feeling we will be seeing call-ups after WrestleMania. I do expect JC Jane to get called up right after WrestleMania. And with Kalani, I feel she should stay down in NXT for a bit. Also, Lola Vice stays down. And I do feel Soruka. I'm going to say this. I think Soruka should carry the NXT Women's Championship and carry a brand on her back before going up to the main roster. So I'm petitioning Soruka to win the NXT Women's Championship. And then after that, have her go straight to the main roster right after that.
I totally agree with that. As it's been me and you for a couple of weeks, hasn't it, Chris?
Yes.
Guess what? It was a big event, and guess who turns up?
Joshua's back.
I love the smell of being on the road to WrestleMania.
Welcome, Lewis. How are you?
Mate, I'm absolutely buzzing at the moment. Sorry I wasn't available. I was having to fill out some online paperwork because I have officially landed myself a brand new job. I start on Tuesday morning.
Yeah,
Congratulations, buddy.
Well done, buddy.
It's only a couple of hours, like each morning, like sorting out deliveries and just cleaning around the offices. But like my dad said, a job's a job at the end of the day. As long as you turn up and do your job, they can't say nothing.
Exactly. We were just talking about the Women's Royal Rumble. What was your quick take on it?
I thought that Rumble, that Women's Rumble, I really enjoyed it, to be fair. And in some stages during that Women's Royal Rumble match, I was literally on the edge of my seat. I was like, ooh, this could go either way here.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
obviously, Liv got the win. I'm happy for Liv Morgan, even though I never had her down to win. I had Io Sky, I did. But I'm happy for Liv. Now she gets to go to WrestleMania, and by judging from when she put the Oblivion on Stephanie Becker after her championship match on Raw and held up Stephanie's championship, I'm like, yeah, it's going to be Liv against Stephanie at WrestleMania.
We'll get into Monday Night Raw in a bit. But, we'll just go by match on the Royal Rumble. So that was the women's. The next match was AJ Styles versus Gunther. Chris, your take on what was AJ's last WWE match?
I'm gonna tell you, that match, I enjoyed it from top to bottom with AJ Styles and Gunther at the Royal Rumble. I enjoyed it from top to bottom. It was a great match, back and forth. I basically knew Gunther was going to win, and Gunther put AJ Styles to sleep, and now AJ Styles is done in WWE. And Gunther, he added AJ Styles into his list of careers that have ended in WWE. He ended Goldberg, he ended John Cena, and now he ended AJ Styles in WWE. AJ Styles, you did a great job. He did actually not a great job. He did a phenomenal job in WWE, from winning championships, winning tag team champions, and just putting on banger matches every single week. He's going to be truly missing WWE, but is not the end for AJ Styles in his professional wrestling career, because I do expect AJ Styles to show up in TNA and do like a match here and there. Maybe he can go and face Frankie Kazarian in TNA, or face Mike Santana for the World Championship. Maybe he could even win the TNA World Championship if he does go to TNA. And I do expect him maybe to go to New Japan, do a couple matches over there, and especially I do see him going to AEW. And I've been petitioning this for a very long time, and I said this last week on Rotz Report. If AJ Styles goes to AEW, what better way to have him go to AEW is have him have a match with Kenny Omega down the road. And if down the road means literally All in London, and I've been making my host Maddie extra happy because he is going to All In, and I would love to have AJ Styles versus Kenny Omega at All in London. So hopefully that could happen. Maybe AJ Styles could take on MJF, AJ Styles versus Will Ospreay. Maybe he could team up with the Young Bucks. There's a lot of possibilities for AJ Styles to go to All Elite Wrestling. So it's not the end for AJ Styles. It's just the beginning on his phenomenal farewell tour.
Absolutely. I thought the match was really good, back and forth, old school kind of wrestling. What I really liked was that he was going for AJ was going for the leg of Gunther. And it showed when Gunther came out of the Royal Rumble. But yeah, the match was phenomenal. Shit ending for us who are massive fans of AJ. Bit cringy bit at the end with his gloves, but there's obviously meant to be some about there. And I agree. I think we'll see him in TNA against Kazarian. Will be his last match, and he'll just have one run in TNA. So hopefully we'll see that down the line. Lewis, what was your take on the AJ Styles Gunther match?
Yeah, I thought this match for me was the match of the night. Hands down, 110%. End to end, both phenomenal athletes. But it was pretty sad, though, seeing AJ Styles depart like WWE and stuff. But I think I agree with you, Rotzy. I would love to see AJ Styles versus Kenny Omega match because I guarantee 110%. Again, both of them two phenomenal athletes, awesome wrestlers. That would be a match that would be a match, in my opinion, you would not be able to take your eyes off.
That's true, absolutely, and I'm praying for that, but it's not a certain that he will not go there. But if he does, it has to be that, or it's nothing at all.
Mm.
Next match: Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn. I thought this match was good. Bits pieces there, good storytelling. They were shoving down 11-0 down our throats, and Sammy never lost in Saudi and stuff like that. But unfortunately, the Scottish Warrior won. I'll go quickly to you, Lewis. What's your take on Drew and Sami Zayn?
I thought this was a good match also. I just like the way that they both came out and they both won at each other. And I've got to give credit to Sami Zayn because the state of his back, how he kept on going, I was just like, man, I am never, ever, ever going against Sami Zayn again. Because to carry on with your back in that much bad condition as it was, I've got to take my hat off to you. You are a future champion. And I don't care what anyone says. It takes the heart of a champion to, go through back pain like that and still carry on. But I've just got to say, unlucky to Sami Zayn, well performed, even with that bad back. I've just got to take my hat off to him. I really have.
Absolutely. Rotz.
My take on the Drew Sammy match, it was a good match, back and forth. They were shoving the Lemons down our throats, and also Sammy never lost in Saudi Arabia. So that was given because this whole match was an easy prediction. It was the most easiest pick of the whole entire year so far in wrestling. Drew McIntyre beating Sami Zayn. And when I saw Sami Zayn down and out, it reminded me on what Cody felt at WrestleMania 39 when he lost to Roman Reigns the first time around. And I'm going to say this with a grain of salt on the booking for Sami Zayn. I feel this is going to be the underdog year for Sami Zayn because I feel how they're going to be booking Sami Zayn throughout this year is the underdog story that he's going to scratch, he's going to crawl to get to a world championship. He's going to come up short after short after short. Maybe Sami Zayn can go on a heel. Maybe he could turn heel, and maybe he could realize that he needs to go being a baby face again. I could see him go be a heel for a couple of months, see how that goes. But ultimately, I am petitioning that Sami Zayn next year to win the men's Royal Rumble and to win the World Championship in Saudi Arabia at next year's WrestleMania. It makes perfect sense for Sami Zayn to capture his first world championship in Saudi Arabia on the grandest stage of them all, WrestleMania, and he could finish his story once and for all. So I feel Sammy is going to have to wait next year to finally become a world champion. What's next for Drew McIntyre is what I saw. He cost Cody Rhodes the Royal Rumble. And I do feel we're going to get Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, and Jacob Fatu in a triple threat match for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania.
Absolutely. Lewis, did you want to chime in on something?
I mean, hear me out now on the incident with Sami Zayn. Do you think it would make a lot more sense at some point this year when Money in the Bank takes place that he wins the Money in the Bank contract and he gets a championship shot at any champion, like whenever and wherever he wants? Or do you reckon that would be too soon?
I don't think it'd be too soon. Rotz?
I'm just going to go out with the limb. I just don't see Sami Zayn winning the men's Money in the Bank this year. I have a gut feeling if Sami Zayn, it is a good idea, Joshua, for Sami to win, but I don't see him winning the Money in the Bank. I do see him winning the Royal Rumble and punching his ticket to WrestleMania. If anybody is going to win the men's Money in the Bank this year, is going to be Dominic Mysterio. That's going to do it.
Wow. So you went from underdog, which was Sami Zayn, which Lewis predicted, to a dirty piece of anyway. Men's Royal Rumble. That has caused the most chatter, the most criticism, the most unbelievable moments. So Rotz, Men's Royal Rumble. I'll let you go for it because I know you're going to enjoy it.
Hey, I enjoy every match on a PLE. So the Men's Rumble, I was enjoying it. I was betting some money with my friends, and unfortunately, I lost the Royal Rumble bet. My number in the Men's Royal Rumble, I had the number 1 pick, and my brother, he had number 13, and my friend, he had number 26. So we had 10 numbers each, and ultimately I lost. But I'm going to save that for another day. The Men's Royal Rumble, I enjoyed. Obafemi came out at number 1. I thought it was going to be Braun Breaker, but they spoiled Braun Breaker on Friday Night SmackDown, and they had to change it to have Braun Breaker go at number 2. But during the countdown show, Paul Heyman got into it with Adam Pearce and said, how did you make Braun Breaker go in at number 2? And Adam Pearce says, is a random draw. You go into the thing, you pick your ball, and you open it up, and there it goes. It's a random draw. You can't do nothing about it. And then we saw a Max man coming out to attack Braun Breaker, and I says, okay, is this flashback to Survivor Series War Games when we had a Max man? The Max man was Austin Theory at the time. And I do feel that this Max man is going to be revealed as Seth freaking Rollins. I feel Seth is going to come back, and I feel he should come back at the Elimination Chamber this month and to finally set up Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. And then the match, the bell rang. Obafemi eliminated Braun Breaker immediately. And I said, oh my gosh, this men's Royal Rumble is going to give me flashbacks to how they booked Brock Lesnar at the 2020 men's Royal Rumble. And it did. And mean about Brock Lesnar, we saw a face off with Brock Lesnar and Obafemi in the men's Rumble. That was generation moment I will always remember. And I do expect Brock Lesnar to go off and take on Obafemi at WrestleMania. I would love to see Brock versus Oba at WrestleMania. So hopefully that match could happen. We saw Mr. Iguana in the men's Rumble from AAA. We saw
Woohoo.
La Parka. I didn't care about La Parka whatsoever. I felt
How
that was
dare you?
I feel like that was a waste of a Royal Rumble spot. They could have gave it to Finn Balor instead of putting La Parka in the men's Rumble. But hey, Finn Balor, he deserves to be in that men's Royal Rumble than any other superstar. He deserves it. But Finn Balor, he didn't get to be in the men's Rumble because Adam Pearce says the Royal Rumble is full. And then we saw the debut of Powerhouse Hobbs, aka Royce Keys. He made an impression in the Royal Rumble, and it is being rumored that he is expected to go and be a part of Friday Night SmackDown. So we're gonna see what he does on Friday Night SmackDown moving forward. I do expect him maybe to go into maybe a marquee feud, maybe for WrestleMania, maybe go after a mid-card championship before going for the World Championship. So time will tell on that. And then Roman Reigns returned from the men's Royal Rumble. He eliminated his cousin Jey Uso from the match. We saw the returning LA Knight, in the Royal Rumble. Gunther came in out at number 30 in the Rumble. That was good. And then the final four was Roman Reigns, Gunther, Randy Orton, and Logan Paul. Who would imagine Logan Paul being in the final four of a Royal Rumble? And then the final two came Roman Reigns and Gunther, and I just says, please, please don't let Gunther win the Royal Rumble and ruin the whole entire appetite of WrestleMania. But my tribal chief, the OTC, Roman Reigns, he is going to punch his ticket to the main event of WrestleMania against CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I do expect the CM Punk Roman Reigns match for WrestleMania to be on WrestleMania Sunday. And it is the fourth time that the World Championship will be main eventing WrestleMania. And the last time the World Heavyweight Championship main evented WrestleMania was WrestleMania in 2008 when we had The Undertaker versus the Rated R superstar Adam Edge Copeland. So that's a bit of a history lesson for you guys here on Rotz Report. And I'm just happy that I got all my predictions correctly.
Yeah, because my predictions, I had fuck all. I was 0. Steve and Rotz were the ones that were 4 out of 4. Lewis, what's your take on a controversial and talked about men's Royal Rumble?
Well, I'll put it this way. Me and my partner, we wrote down all the lists of the men in the Royal Rumble, and we put him into a lucky hat, and we had a little shuffle. Ooh, I got a good one, yeah, babe. Here you go. I got Jacob Fatu. Woo-ha, right? And then she looked at me and she went, ooh, I've got an even better one. I went, who've you got? Roman Reigns.
What up, Charles?
And but yeah, I actually enjoyed the men's rumble, to be fair. But I just could not get over the size of that Obafemi. I was like, okay. I'll tell you what. I don't know what it is about that Obafemi, but he kind of gives me Braun Strowman vibes. That guy is huge.
Yeah.
But other than that, I just thought it was a really good men's Royal Rumble, to be fair. I really enjoyed that, but trust it to be like Gunther in the last two. And I was like, oh, come on. Seriously? But then as soon as Roman threw him over the top rope, I was like, bye, Gunthy.
The Rumble was really, really good. For me, the build up to it, like Omar Femi coming out and then Braun getting attacked and then get eliminated within 3 seconds, and literally Omar throwing out each guy out. I love Mr. Iguana coming in. I love La Parka coming in, just because it gave a different feeling to it. I was expecting TNA guys. I will admit. I thought it would be TNA. I think the only reason why people are so negative about this show is 2 things. One, I understand with the Saudi crowd because they were shit. 2 is because there wasn't much big Legends surprises. There wasn't a TNA surprise really. There wasn't everybody was saying Jericho, but Jericho is still AEW contracted. I do enjoy watching Javon Evans. He was the Iron Man. He was 14 minutes and 58 seconds. I really enjoyed it, and it was a really, really good show from him. Royce Keys, I thought he was going to be on NXT, so if he is going on SmackDown, I'm really looking forward to what he could do on SmackDown. But it was a good Rumble. I'm happy that Roman won instead of Gunther because, like Lewis said, I think if Gunther won, it would have killed. Well, Ross said it. It would just killed the WrestleMania. Talking of winning the Royal Rumble, let's go into Monday Night Raw. Let's go to the main event of the wrestling match. Stephanie Falcone versus Roxanne Rodriguez in a Philly street fight. Stephanie somehow won. It was a really good match. I mean, there were some blunders there here and there, but like you said, Lewis, the Oblivion to Valkyrie. Do you think it'll be Liv versus Valkyrie, Lewis?
I honestly think we're getting Liv against Stephanie Vaca at WrestleMania for the women's title.
Agree. Rotz, what was your take on the main event for the wrestling?
I feel I was going back and forth on who I was going to pick between Stephanie and Raquel. I would love WWE to pull that trigger on Raquel, but I don't know if they were going to pull that trigger now or are they going to wait until later on in the year to do it. But I do expect Raquel to be women's championship in 2026. I do feel she lost on Monday, but is not the end of the road for Raquel yet. What I saw at the end with Liv Morgan with the Oblivion, it is setting up. We will be getting Liv Morgan, Stephanie Valkyr for the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania. And what I'm upset about is they changed Stephanie Valkyr's entrance music on us, and I just don't like her new music whatsoever. They should have just kept her old music. I enjoyed her old music. Her old music was great until they had to change it, and it's like, okay, I don't like the new music at all. Hopefully, she can get her old music back. If not, then it is what it is. It's a part of working with WWE.
Is her own music Death Rebel?
I think, I don't even know.
That's the only way I could think is why they changed it, because they want to get rid of Howard Death Rebel, don't they now? They changed either all songs. They changed like Death Rebel songs back to the old songs. So I'm thinking if that is the only logical reason for them to change Stephanie's song is because it's Death Rebel. The old song was Death Rebel, and they want to get rid of it. So I agree, though. I prefer the old one. It was a good match, though. It's good for me. It's going to be a triple threat match. There's going to be a triple threat match one way or another. It's either going to be the SmackDown Drew, Cody, and Jacob, or it's going to be Liv, Raquel, Stephanie. Then after the match, we had the 20-minute segment to end the show. CM Punk and Roman Reigns had a double pipe bomb, as I call it. Rotz, your tribal chief and the best in the world, head to head, is set in stone now. ESPN done a tremendous promotion video for WrestleMania for it. I do highly recommend you going on YouTube to find it. Your Ones in the Sky versus X. What we gonna see? What did you think of the segment?
I feel this segment was cinema. It was great all together. They went back and forth. And I'm going to tell you, CM Punk brought up how he did 434 days better than 1,316 days with Roman Reigns as champion. And I looked on how many title defenses CM Punk and Roman Reigns had. I think CM Punk beat Roman Reigns with the most title title defenses. Hold on.
Oh,
I'm good. Wrong pipe. And so CM Punk, he beat Roman Reigns with the title defenses, and Roman Reigns said this to CM Punk: I picked you up from the ring, I gave you a handshake like a man, only for when we left and go backstage, CM Punk mocked Roman Reigns and holding up the World Heavyweight Championship like if he was a big shot or whatever. And Roman Reigns, he never forgot what CM Punk did to him at Survivor Series War Games when he was mocking him with that World Championship. And Roman said, I'm picking you because I can't stand you and I hate you. And at WrestleMania, you will acknowledge me. And personally, I'm going to enjoy watching CM Punk, Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 42. And I'm going to be on the edge of my seat for that whole entire match. And I'm going to say it right now. I know predictions is subject to change. And I'm going to say it to you guys right now. I feel Roman Reigns is going to defeat CM Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania.
I am shocked. But I can feel when we get to Road to WrestleMania, which Wrestling Pedigree is going to be, I feel when we have Rotz Report, me and you are going to battle so many times because I'm a CM Punk guy. I feel CM Punk will beat your tribal chief. So we are going to have massive arguments, I feel, on the road to WrestleMania. Lewis, what was your take on the 20-minute segment between Roman and CM Punk?
My opinion on this 20-minute segment, it had me on the edge of my seat. It really, really did. Because whatever trash talk CM Punk was giving Roman Reigns gave it him straight back, as Rotzi said, which led Roman to say, I'm picking you because I can't stand you and I hate you. And at WrestleMania, you will acknowledge me. And then he slams down his microphone and walks off. And I'm like, okay, we got a battle on our hands here. But
who have you got?
Early predictions. I'm so sorry. But I am sticking with the tribal chief. I think he gets it done. And then at some point in this new year, like say maybe in a few months' time, I reckon it could potentially be if he plays his cards right and if he keeps himself on who's the Raw general manager? Adam, isn't it?
Yeah.
And if he stays on Adam's good page for the next few months, I can honestly see it being set up. Braun Breaker and Roman Reigns in a World Heavyweight title match.
SummerSlam.
I was about ready to say that because I was hearing reports about Roman. How I heard it was the original plan was for Roman to win the World Championship, and then at SummerSlam, Braun Breaker would defeat Roman Reigns in a passing of the torch moment. So that's where I heard the rumors at. But when it comes to rumors here on Wrestling Pedigree, we call it just rumors, and anything can happen. Anything can happen in professional wrestling. If you read something, if you want to believe it, that's fine. If not, let's just ride it out and just enjoy professional wrestling.
Exactly. Rumor innuendo. That's how I call it. I thought this segment was really good because it brought up old scars like shoots, like CM Punk bringing the Shield in. Roman mentioned the Colt Cabana podcast when CM Punk said those things on there. This is going to be one hell of a match. And I have got CM Punk because he is the best in the world. And the 434 days is better than 1,316 days. Oh, look at that look. If you're listening to this, Ross just gave me the most dirtiest look. By God, if looks could kill, I'll be pushing up daisies. Let's get into last night's NXT. Lewis, did you watch NXT? There will be spoilers in this show for you, mate. Let's go quickly before we go to our main event. There is an interim general manager of NXT, and that is Robert Stone, as Ava has obviously left WWE last week. So, Ross, what was your take on Robert Stone being the interim general manager for the time being when they sort some out?
I feel Robert Stone as interim general manager is going to be good for him. I know he's been doing stuff in TNA with Victoria Crawford, Tessa Blanchard. So I feel he's going to be good with the NXT brand and moving forward with that. And when they do find a good general manager for NXT, it is going to be great. I do expect maybe William Regal should come back to NXT and be the general manager of NXT. So time would tell on that. But with Robert Stone as the interim general manager, we wish him the best of luck, and hopefully the superstars show Robert Stone respect.
Yeah, you deal with some of the wrestlers. Yeah, nah, they will give her respect, especially Dark State. Lewis, is there anyone that you can think of who that will be a good suit for a new general manager of NXT?
Mm, I know he's getting old, and he's getting on a bit, but even at the age he is, I still think he loves the wrestling industry. And I personally will give it to him for, say, a good year or two.
Was that Regal?
Nah.
Who have you
I'm
got?
gonna say I would potentially have liked to have given it to maybe Ric Flair, just for a year or two, just to see how he goes.
How?
I don't know.
That is one
I
hell of
just
a pick.
hear me
That's
out.
one hell of a pick.
I just think there's something about Ric Flair. But the thing is, he's old and he's all retired now, isn't he? So
Yeah, I was thinking someone like Carmella. I thought Carmella would be good. Shayna Baszler would be good. Hell, AJ Styles, he needs a job. Um, it's it'd be interesting to see what Robert Stone does. But now, Lewis, you're going to see a big, massive spoiler now, sir. So I do apologize. But this picture is dedicated to Justin. We have a new NXT champion, has almost Femi vacated it. And, ladies and gentlemen, the new champion of NXT is Joe Hendry. And everybody was waving their hands last night. Rob, your take on a new NXT World Heavyweight Champion, Joe Hendry.
Well, I did pick Ricky Saints to win this NXT championship because I felt it would have made sense for Ricky to get his championship back. But when I saw Joe Hendry on top of the ladder, I just said, oh my gosh, this is just giving me throwbacks on Matt Cardona winning the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania in 2016. And personally, I'm happy for Joe Hendry. He deserves it. I'm happy that they finally pulled the trigger in WWE to put the NXT Championship on Joe Hendry. And I do expect him to have a good, solid run with the NXT Championship. And then maybe after he drops the NXT Championship, maybe it could be his time to go onto the main roster to see what he does on either Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. But for now, Joe Hendry, you deserve it. And I will always keep believing in you every single day for my rest of my life.
It was a phenomenal. I will admit, I popped. I was up screaming at 2:30 in the morning. I was screaming just happiness. Um, Lewis, are you trying to watch it? I recommend it. I recommend watching it because it was a great ladder match, great 7-man ladder match.
I've just
for me,
got a quick message to our wonderful friend Justin. Hey Justin, say his name and he appears.
I believe in Joe Hendry.
God,
Justin's probably going to kick my ass now.
Don't worry, I'll clip this and then I'll send it to him. It was a really good ladder match. Sean Lacey was really good on there. Ricky Saints and everybody else was phenomenal. But for a lad from Scotland, there's 2 Scottish world champions now in WWE. That's all you need is Alma Fire and Piper Niven to come and win the tag team title, so everything be perfect. Lewis, as with this news breaking to you, what is your take on Joe Hendry winning the title?
From all of the highlights I've been watching over the last couple of months in NXT, I just didn't watch this one last night. I completely forgot. But
with everything going to Royal Rumble, I'm not surprised.
But I would say I do admire Joe Henry. It's just like the character himself. He's so cheesy, but yet he's a great wrestler. And do you know what I mean? I think he thoroughly deserves to be NXT champion. I really, really do. I think the last title reign he had, I think it was like robbed from him, in my opinion.
I agree.
But that's okay. That's all good now because all of that's in the past. I'm just glad he's NXT champion again.
Absolutely. Talking of him being ex-TNA champion and that, next week, me and Ross will be doing our predictions for No Surrender. So we will be doing that next week. We will be discussing everything else that's in professional wrestling. So before we close the show, it's Super Bowl weekend. And, well, let's see who's got who. So, Ross, who's your pick for the Super Bowl?
Well, my pick for the Super Bowl is going to be a fun matchup for the Patriots and the Seahawks. I got the New England Patriots winning the Super Bowl 60.
And your score?
Not at the moment.
I don't know. I know what Lewis is going to say, but go on, Lewis.
Yo.
When did you do that?
I've had this tattoo for like 5 years now.
Have you?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Yeah. I've had this for a while, mate.
Oh, well, you can replace it. All right. You go right. Patriots, and what's the score then?
I haven't got a prediction. All I'm gonna say is Patriots by about 3, maybe 4 points.
Oh, all right.
Because I think both quarterbacks this weekend are gonna bring something to the table. And do you know what I mean? Sam Darnold's got Jackson Smith-Njigba. Drake May's got Stephon Diggs. He's got Kayshon Boutte, and this could swing either way. I think it'll all come down to whose defense shows up the most.
With that, I think it'll be the Seahawks defense coming up most because I feel they will win by 26-18. I feel it's going to be a close 2 quarters, and then the last 2 quarters, I feel the New England Patriots will die off. But yeah, so that's 2-1. So we'll come back next week and see why I won. With that, Lewis, where can people find you, sir?
Just quickly, if the Patriots lose on Sunday, I'm not available ever again. Thanks for having me on, boys. You can find me on Forever Boston Sports, where me and Justin usually do our like NFL predictions, and like we sometimes go over the basketball and sometimes baseball and stuff as well. But yeah, that's where you can find me more or less. But I appreciate you for having me on, chaps. Appreciate it lots. Thank you very much.
No worries. It's always a pleasure. And you can find Forever Boston Sports on Facebook. They had a show that was scheduled tonight, but on this Wednesday evening, but unfortunately had to reschedule. So they will be back next week. You can find them on Facebook. It is fun watching them, and if you hate Boston sports teams, it's a good TV show, good stream to watch and just piss people off because I do it. Ross, what can people find you?
Well, where you guys can find me at is on my Instagram, CMROTZ_1316. My Facebook is Christopher Rotz. My X account is CRotz24. I had a blast here again on Rotz Report, and what Maddie alluded to, we will be back here next week, depending on what my work schedule is. We will be back next week to make our predictions for TNA No Surrender. And we'll be also talking about what all went down in wrestling and just getting your guys ready for this road to WrestleMania. And now we are officially on that road to WrestleMania, and WrestleMania will be taking place from Las Vegas, Nevada on Saturday, April 18th and Sunday, April 19th. So Rotz Report, Wrestling Pedigree, our focus is on the road to WrestleMania, and there's no sleep until we get to the biggest and the most unpredictable WrestleManias in the history of WrestleManias. I want to say to NoDQ.com. Follow Wrestling Pedigree on all social medias, and always be positive instead of being negative, and just enjoy professional wrestling.
Exactly. You can find Wrestling Pedigree on Facebook, and TikTok has Wrestling Pedigree. You can find YouTube and Insta accounts of ours, Wrestling Pedigree 92. And you can watch our Rotz Report next week. Schedule will be announced on social media. You'll find Kane Uncut, which will be live on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then you can find Wrestling Pedigree with myself and Steve on Saturday, when we do the courtroom of the Attitude Era. So whatever moment you guys have in the Attitude Era, let us know in the comments or anywhere you see us. Let us know your moments, and myself and Steve will be judge, jury, and executioner on why that is or was not the best Attitude Era moment. So please get your picks in and watch along Sunday the 15th for Progress Wrestling. Watch along will be available again at the end of the month for Elimination Chamber. So there's a lot going on. Rotz Report will have a special interview in March with a certain wrestler to be announced. We will have a certain wrestler be announced for Wrestling Pedigree show also. So from myself, Christopher Rotz, Lewis Joshua, have a great evening. Have a great week. See you guys next week. Enjoy professional wrestling and enjoy this before we go out.